everybody. Welcome to another episode of Capes, Cows, and Close Calls. My name is Nick. With me always is my co-host, Sean, the Irishman King.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on,
You were supposed to give it way more oomph.
I know. I thought about that as I was doing it, and let me see. How do I give this a little more oomph? Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Capes, Cows, and Close Calls. My name... I don't like that one.
That
I don't
wasn't
like
it.
that one.
That wasn't it.
That wasn't it. You're right. That wasn't it.
You'll get it, man.
I'll
You'll
get there.
it.
I'll get there. I'll keep trying.
Every week we'll do it a little bit different.
Yeah. That definitely wasn't it, though. I wasn't feeling that one. I tried.
I was trying to go along with you, and even I was like, nah, I don't know this is it.
I was trying to think of a beat, and that was the first one that came to my head because that's our intro music. You know what I mean? That wasn't it. That wasn't it. I agree.
No.
Anyway, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. Hey, up top, thanks for coming on the episode, guys. Please like, subscribe, interact with this episode. You can let us know what you thought. If you hit the link tree, you can now, Nick added a new feature. If you want your voice, if you want us to hear you.
Yeah, if you don't want to send an email, you can send us a voicemail. So it's just a link in the link tree. You can click on it. You can record a voice message. We'll get it. Maybe we'll play it on the podcast if you want. We'll definitely listen to it and react to it. So, man.
Yeah.
We got all types of options to reach us. So, like, comment, share, subscribe.
Awesome. What's been going on?
Nothing much, man.
Another week.
Another week in the books.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
Nothing.
How was
We
yours?
had Easter.
I mean, we did have Easter. Yeah. I enjoyed the holiday. We had the extra Friday. We had off Good Friday.
Yep, having Good Friday off was nice.
Yes, sir.
Did you? We were texting. Did you end up going on a little hike that day or no?
No, I didn't. You know what's funny? That's what I meant to tell you. So I sent you the trail that we went to, and then you were like, "This is very close to the trail." You sent me the trail you went to. Yeah. You're like, "This is very close." It's actually the same trail.
Is it the same one?
It's the same trail.
It's just a different part of it?
Yeah. So there's two entrances, and each entrance has its own name.
Gotcha.
So you just went to a different entrance. And then what's funny is that the first time we went to that trail, we went in the entrance that you went in. But as we walked through it, we took pictures. So when I was like, what's the name of that trail again? She couldn't remember it. So she went to her photos, and her photo told her the other trail because the picture that we took was on the other side. But it's literally like you just walk to the other side.
Gotcha.
But it's like they connect. So we were in the same place. So I thought, I was like, oh, that's funny.
Wow. We didn't walk much of it, to be honest. We ended up just going to that tower.
Oh, the fake leaning tower of Pisa.
The leaning tower.
What
of Niles.
A random place to put that, bro. Every time we see it, we're just like, who decided to put this here? Why is it here?
It's supposed to be like some wealthy businessman.
Just
decided to throw some money at this.
So anyone who's not from around here,
or even if you are,
even if you are, I
didn't know about it.
It's fucking weird. It's in Niles, Illinois, which is, what would you say, like 30 minutes north of the city,
if that.
Yeah, just a fucking replica of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Just
it's about half the size.
Yeah, sits in front of a Target. Just randomly fucking
this
there.
one intentionally built to lean.
Yeah, fucking weird.
It is weird.
I don't understand the point of it. Like, I guess it's a tourist attraction. No, it's not. I've never even seen anybody there taking a picture of it. You know what I mean?
When I was there were people taking photos with it. Yeah,
that's crazy. And we go over there all the time because I told you we go to the Costco.
There was 3 families there.
That's crazy, bro.
It's probably because people had the day off and the weather was nice.
Yeah, that's true. The weather was nice. Yeah. That's true.
I imagine a lot of people were kind of like me, where they went to the trail, and I was like, I could check this out real quick.
Yeah, and then they saw this random leaning tower of Pisa. So ridiculous, man.
Dude, I went to the Draft Alamo house for the first time too. That same day. Now? That movie theater I keep saying that we should go to because we could walk to it from my place.
Oh, okay.
It's the Draft Alamo house, and it is very much like they have a waiter. So if you get there, you're getting a meal.
Okay.
But the ticket prices are cheaper than most of the movie theaters we keep going to.
Really?
Yeah, they're like $13.
Crazy.
Which $15 is kind of I think what the average is what we're doing these days.
That's
$13 for it, and then the food was pub food and wasn't very expensive either.
Okay.
But yeah, we went.
How were the seats? Were they recliners? What were they?
Recliners with your little side table.
Fuck.
Little side tables you can eat whatever.
The theater we've been going to doesn't have recliners, right? Yeah. No, we just.
The thing is the theaters are smaller, so they sell out quicker.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey, Thunderbolts is next week, so.
True.
Figure that shit out.
Wow.
That'll be fun. That'll be a good time. So there was something I meant to tell you about that. You forgot your paper towel. There was something I meant to tell you about while you had went on vacation. You went to Florida.
Yeah.
Something happened while you were gone. And I meant to tell you about it on the episode we recorded after you came back, but it just like slipped my mind. So I wanted to tell you about it now.
Okay.
It's a little less relevant because it happened a few weeks ago, but I know it's something you never heard of and probably something our listeners never heard of. But before I get to that, because while we're on the topic of vacation, I wanted to ask you a question.
What anticipation.
I know.
But
before we get to it, I wanted to ask you something about vacation. When you go to, so like you're planning a vacation, right? Mm-hmm. What comes first for you? Do you book the flight / travel first? Do you book the stay first? Or do you request off time from work first?
Good question. Let me think this out. I don't know if it's always the same.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Okay.
I think.
But generally,
me,
like if
generally, my trips to Europe, the flight was booked first.
Okay.
And I'll book the flight and take the time off basically on top of each other.
Okay.
Like I booked that flight and then I'm next time I'm logging into work.
So the last thing you booked was the stay.
It's the stay.
Interesting. Okay.
Now Destin was a little bit different because all of my siblings were like book the stay immediately because where we were going will sell out. So that was first.
Okay.
And then so we were like debating all the way up until like the day before. We were hoping plane tickets would drop.
I got you.
And then it didn't. So it went up. So then we ended up driving. So that's a little bit different. But generally, plane first. I'll probably go generally plane, request off work, stay. Now, but it's not always that way. So I'm going to go, I haven't told you yet. We got to book an episode ahead of time because I'm going to go to Mexico in June.
You and these fucking Mexico trips, man. Okay, so so you're going to Mexico. What are you booking first?
I didn't plan this.
Oh, okay.
So Dora and David, as parents, you met them, Cornelia and Lucian.
Yeah.
If it's not a timeshare, I couldn't tell you what the difference is. But they have something. They're part of some club thing. That sounds an awfully lot like a timeshare. Yeah. And so this trip to Mexico, the stay in a 5-star resort, it's not all inclusive, but it's a 5-star resort. Each person is $100, not a night, $100 total for a week.
Damn.
So that was booked first.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's always a little bit different.
Fair enough.
And for that one, I haven't booked a flight, nor have I put the time in yet. But it was like Dora called.
Okay,
and was
so
like,
if
we do these dates, it's $100, and we're like, book it.
You and Dia are just going on a trip, just straight from scratch. What are you doing first?
Flight usually first.
So you're going flight first, then what?
Flight, time off. Again, really on top of each other because I get in my head about it. I'm like, what if I don't get the time off? Even though our job is pretty great about that.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can't think of a reason why they would decline me. So flight request off. I know Thor's gonna keep moving.
Yeah, he keeps falling over.
Not touch the desk.
Just get some little piece of double-sided tape and stick him down or something.
And then stay is always later.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm not saying it's right.
Okay.
I'm just saying, dude, I'll tell you, the first time I went to Europe, we booked some of our stay while we were in Europe.
Yeah, I get that.
We left. We were in Romania not fully knowing what we were doing in Italy. And then when we went to Italy, we didn't have cars. We just knew that we had to get cars. And I'll never do that again.
Yeah, see, that's crazy to me. So for me, it's flight, stay, time off. For me, time off's always last. I'm getting that time off. You're not telling me no. I'm taking the time off. Like if I didn't book a flight and a stay, I'm getting the time off. That's always last for me, right? I feel like I go flight first because I feel like out of the two,
I feel like I have
that's
Best
what
Buy trauma.
fluctuates the most is the flight price.
But that's also kind of why you gotta get it early.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why I booked the flight first.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to fluctuate. Because the flight,
stay
as I get
doesn't-
closer
yeah.
to the date, is going to increase drastically, right? The place that I stay at might increase, but also I still got like much more options. Like the flight, what you got? Like 3 choices maybe of flight? You know what I mean? To like get the flight that you want for the dates that you want. But stay is like, okay, maybe this stay isn't available, but you got, I mean, like you said, like sometimes you can just show up to a place and be like, hey, what rooms you got available for the night? Now, to be fair, it'll probably be more expensive that way.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Like you can find somewhere to stay. Like
But that
the flight is
that
much
price
more
delta compared to the flight delta,
Yeah,
it's humongous.
it's huge.
And then it's like,
Yeah.
I probably would have saved a couple bucks, but whatever the hotel it is, what it is.
Yeah, so I'm going.
I think
go
I have
flight
I have
first.
Best Buy / Chicago indoor trauma.
About what?
Getting
The
time off.
Interesting.
So now that I have a job that's great about it, but I'm like, I gotta put this in, make sure it's accepted, because I don't want.
Yeah, I
fuck
get
with
that. I
that.
get that. I get
Where
that.
Chicago indoor had like months where you were technically not allowed to take time off
Right.
at their busy season.
Yeah.
And I always ended up taking time off in there anyways. Like it always worked out. But you had to like, we didn't like, so that was so like less, there wasn't like there was a system, right? Where you put in your time off like there is now.
Yeah.
It was like I had to convince my boss to let me take the time off.
Gotcha.
And Best Buy always kind of like made you feel like a dick for taking vacations.
Yeah. See, I get where you're coming from, but I think that's why I feel the way I feel now is because I got to a point where I flipped that switch and I was like, fuck that. Like, I'm taking this time. Like, you're not going to tell me no. You know what I mean? Like, this is a retail job. You know, like, this place isn't going to burn down if I don't show up. You don't want to give me a time off? Fine. I'll just fucking call off. Like, that's just what it'll be. You know what I mean? Like, I need 2 days off, dude. Like, give me 2 fucking days off. You already give me 2 days off a week. So just shift the schedule so those 2 extra days that you're going to give me off anyway just fall next to the other 2 days and we'll be fine.
You know, it's funny. This is, we had this conversation, I think, offline a while back about how Best Buy has changed in this. That's sort of weird.
Oh,
that we're going back into it,
yeah.
Right? But I remember like legitimately feeling like having fevers or migraines and trying to call off, and they would like do their fucking utmost to talk you into coming in anyways.
Yeah, they would.
And you were saying like now they have like issues, like people call off for mental health days.
Yeah.
And they can't get them. They can't
People-
say shit.
people
But I
call-
remember.
yeah, people call in and be like,
I remember Jimmy in particular. I had the worst migraine. He's like, "You could suck it up." And like I had to get to the point, Jimmy, I'm not coming.
Yeah, he was like that. He
Yeah.
was like that. Yeah, no, people call off now.
Oh, we really need you here.
That's just be
There's
like-
not enough people here. Fuck, you should schedule more people.
Yeah,
Like,
nah, fuck all that shit, man.
Yeah.
People.
are you planning a vacation?
No, I just saw that. I saw like a TikTok about it, and I was just curious to see what you thought.
Yeah.
Because like to
They're
me,
usually
the
like
answer
my
was clear.
stay is always kind of late, but the other two are usually right on top of each other.
Yeah, it was surprising to me actually how many people were like, "I request time off first." I'm just like, why?
I get that. I feel like-
that's never my go-to.
I think you're too loose with it, but like you're in a job where like it's fine.
Here's what I'm saying. I wouldn't give a fuck what the job was, Sean. If
You
I'm
wouldn't
not,
care.
if I'm not saving lives, I don't care. I'm getting the time off.
You get the opportunity to go to Greece, but you have to leave tomorrow. And you're contacting your boss trying to take this time off, and he's like, "That's too short notice. Are you going to Greece and losing your job?"
Would
You're
I
fucking
lose?
not.
Would
You're
I
not.
lose? No, but
That's what it comes from.
I'm also never gonna put myself in a position where the alternative is I lose my job.
Right.
Right? Like I'm not gonna call them up and be like, "Hey, I'm going to Greece tomorrow. Give me the time off." No,
But you're calling him and you go, "Hey, man, could I take this week off?" And he's like, "Man, you can't. Like, that's not enough notice. It's against our policy."
So again, depending on the job, right? Like depending on the job would depend on the situation. In my current role, where I'm 100% remote, I'm not saying shit. I'm just packing my laptop and I'm going. I don't need to tell you where I am. You're gonna call me. My team's background is gonna be a weird background
if you
anyway.
Leave the country.
Yeah, they'll know if I leave the country, but that's like the most extreme. Like if I just
Right.
went
so
to
this
California
scenario
or
of
something.
you going to Greece.
Why Greece specifically? What if I just want to go to California?
Well, that's different. Because you could just let your boss know, "Hey, I'm going to do this week from California," and that's not going to be. I don't think that would be a huge deal.
Leaving the country just means what? I just got to get some kind of clearance, right?
What do you mean by clearance?
Why would leaving the country be a big deal?
I'm saying that when you are logging in,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
they're going to know that you left.
That's what VPNs are for, bro.
Right.
They don't need to know.
This is okay. But this is also then saying that you're not taking the week off.
Maybe, maybe not. What I'm saying is that, like, I'm not.
I feel like you missed the point. Yeah, okay.
I'm not going.
So now you want to work from Greece. Who the fuck wants to take a
Listen to
vacation
me.
and then you're logging your 40 hours in?
I'm not going to the extreme of, like, I'm going to tell you the day before I go on my vacation.
But that's where it comes from.
That
Where
I'm
people are
getting
worried
off. Who does
that they're not going to get it approved.
That's just irresponsible.
You went to the mall. This is a crazy scenario. You filled out one of those fucking cards and you put it into the box. You got to call the next day. Nick, you won a 5-day stay in Greece, which is not long enough, but it's free. So who fucking cares? We just need to leave tomorrow. Here are the plane tickets.
There's no contest that exists like that. Let's play in a realistic playing field, all right? Let's talk about it in reality of the world. Let's say they went, you got 2 weeks. And let's say the request period to get the time off is I got to do it within 16 days. So I'm 2 days shy of getting this time off. I'm going on that trip.
Yeah, because your boss is not going to care that much about the 2 days.
Exactly. So I'm saying that's why I go time off last. My sleep got caught. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Anyway, so while you're on vacation, right? By the way, I don't just do that. Just so you know, I know some people that we may or may not work with, may or may not listen to us. So I'm not just calling off. I'm just saying, when it comes to vacation, the last thing I'm thinking about is requesting that time off because I'm gonna get that time off. That's all I'm saying. Anyway.
But your point is because you're never doing it last second.
Right. Yeah. I'm not being stupid about it, but also I'm not like some people will legitimately like I've known people who will take their days off. Like the new year hits, vacation time resets, and they're immediately like booking through like half the year.
Like they're requesting the time off.
Yeah. And I'm just like, no.
But that depends on the job. Like, do those people have issues? Like, if they take the time off, like, they're the only one on their team allowed to do so? So they need to put it in ahead of time? Or is it like, because my team, like, we could take time off at the same time. It's fine. They're going to figure it out. Right? But if I was on, like, if you and I are on the same team and you and I can't take time off at the same time, then I would be way more motivated to put my time in.
And you're like, the year start, you're just like, I got 40 hours to take off. I'm putting it in now.
I mean, I'm not that guy, but I get the logic.
I mean, that's fair. I'm not saying I don't get it. I'm just saying that's not the way my mind works. Like, I'm figuring out what I'm going to do first before I'm just like, let me take this time off. Because what if my plans fall through?
that's crazy too, right? If that person doesn't know what they're doing yet.
Yeah, like if my plans
just
fall through.
right.
Or even if it's that
this
far
first
in
week
advance,
of March,
right?
I know I'm going somewhere. Burn the time off. I don't know where I'm going. That's insane to me.
Right. Or like, even if I do know I'm going somewhere. Let's say like Sean's birthday, I know is in October. Fucking you're not actually turning 35. But let's just say it's like a milestone birthday. You're like, well, I'm going to fucking Vegas. And it's February. I'm not requesting that time off yet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to wait until like September and then be like, hey, bro, what's the plan so I can take this time off?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But vice versa, I'd book that flight in February.
But if you have it booked in February, what's stopping you?
Because
Let me just put it in the time, man.
Because again, like, I don't know. To me, it's just I just don't
that's
need
just
to.
classic
like,
procrastination.
I just don't need to. Anyway,
Takes 2 seconds. Next, hit the 3 buttons.
while you're on vacation, right? So I know you don't watch anime, right? But it's an anime related thing. So I'm gonna break it down to you because I still think that you'd find some interest. If not, you probably find it somewhat fascinating, right? Or just cool in general. Okay. So there's this anime, right? It's called Hunter x Hunter. Okay. All right. So in this anime, and I've watched it, but it's been a while, so I might get some details wrong. If I do, I apologize. In this anime, there's a world that exists where there are certain people who become what's called a hunter, right? When you're a hunter, you receive a special hunter's license, which allows you to do things legally that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do if you didn't have that license.
Okay.
Right? So like, and it kind of works in the sense of like an agency, right? So there's a hunters association. There'll be different missions and tasks that come up that they will then assign to hunters to go take care of, right? So, and I mean, again, it's an anime world. It's an animated world. Right. It's not real. So like, crazy shit can happen, right? There might be a fucking werewolf running around and they need some hunters to go kill it because it's destroying a city or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But again, because you have this license, you're allowed to do these things. You're allowed to basically, like, you can murder people if you need to, like stuff like that. If you didn't have this license, you couldn't do that legally, right?
Okay. Can I kill the werewolf?
Yeah.
If I don't have the license?
No. I mean, you could, but also being a hunter, you're usually a trained professional in that sense.
But what you're saying is if I'm being hunted by a werewolf, then I can...
Again.
What if I'm being hunted by a hunter?
No.
I can't kill the hunter in self-defense?
Not legally. I don't think.
That's a ludicrous rule.
I don't know.
Again, I just gotta let the hunter kill me?
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen this. I don't remember all the rules. And I didn't feel like doing the research before I told you about this because I didn't think you'd fucking ask me questions, Sean. I thought you'd just go along with it. You don't know about it. Golly.
I feel like this might be related to what you're going to get to, and I wanted to know the lay of the land.
I'm telling you, there's a hunt. That's not even the most important part. The most important part.
Why we explain this about the hunters?
Because it's all relevant. It's just not the most important. The most important part is that in order to become a hunter, there's an exam that you have to take and pass, right?
This is like supposed to be like closely related to like a license to kill.
I don't know. What is that? That's
it feels
show,
like,
right?
You know how like, no, like technically like the people that are only allowed to kill are like law enforcement, FBI, military. They technically have a license to kill.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Kinda. I guess it would be more akin to like if I had to do something in real life, it'd be more akin to like being a bounty hunter. You know how like bounty hunters, they're not technically like law enforcement, not all of them, but they can do things legally that like you couldn't otherwise do if you didn't have whatever license it is they have to do. I don't know the ins and the outs of bounty hunters. Me neither, but I've seen the shows and like they can do shit that like normal cops can't do, but also normal civilians can't do. You know what I mean? Like they can arrest people, they can legally seize people, but I don't know if they can kill people.
I'm pretty sure they can.
They might be able to, right?
I don't think so.
But they're not an officer.
I think they can kill in self-defense, but even that still.
But they can like legally assault you though. Like they can they can like if you're
they can, tackle your ass.
They can tackle you. Yeah, like if you're resisting, like they basically have the same authority that like a police officer has, and just like wrestle you to the ground and fucking put you in handcuffs, and which seems insane, but.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, so it's like, I guess it'd be most similar.
Do you feel like if that was happening to you, you would struggle not to fight because I feel like I wouldn't resist to a police officer. But if a bounty hunter...
Oh, I beat the shit out of that. I'm fighting that bounty. Bro.
I feel like, and I know that I would be in trouble, but there's something about the fact, dude, you're just a bounty hunter.
Fighting, bro. There's no fucking
We're going to jail for sure. But
100%. Bro, I'm doing everything. Like, you're not. Hell no.
I've seen those clips where they're like the bounty hunters, like, or the person, like the repo guys taking the guy's car.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, I would struggle so hard to not punch that dude in the face.
Oh, yeah. No, for 100%. I've seen Repo Man get beat up.
Have you?
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so off topic. Okay, so you got to take an exam to become a hunter, right?
Okay.
So the thing about this exam is two major things. One, you have no idea what the exam is before you get there. You
Okay.
basically figure out each phase of the exam as it happens. So you don't know what you're in for before you show up. Right? So that's number one. Number two, in the show, the exam is so difficult that like 99% of the people fail it.
Okay.
Okay? Now,
It's because you don't know what to study because you don't know what's on the
exactly. You have no idea what you need to do, right? Okay.
exam. Can you retake the exam?
Yeah, you can retake the exam. You can retake it as many times as you want, but it changes every time.
Okay.
It's slightly different. So you still don't know. You know what I mean? So there were these guys. I don't know the full backstory to this, but there were these guys. I'm assuming they just had a lot of money and a lot of time on their hands in real life.
In real life. We're no longer
We're
talking about the anime.
no longer in the anime. We're in real life now.
This is the hell of a setup. Okay.
Who decided that they wanted to host a real life hunter exam.
Okay.
So they wanted to take...
Mr. Beast? Because it sounds
Nah,
like
it's not Mr. Beast. It'd probably be even...
Sounds like something he would do.
It does sound like something he would do if he was into anime. I don't know if he's into anime. But I'm assuming these guys also had money. But they set up a hunters association, just like in the show, right? Created a website, all that stuff. They announced that there was going to be a real life hunters exam. A lot of people thought it was fake. They thought it was a scam because they charge people, I think, like $70 for an entrance ticket, right? But a lot of people signed up. 900 plus people signed up to take this exam. And it was real. It really happened. Our buddy, Malcolm from the Storm podcast, was actually one of the commentators for it because they live streamed it on Twitch the whole day. And this was a whole day thing. So it started at like 8 in the morning and didn't end until like 8 or 9 at night, right?
Okay.
So similar to the real life, similar to the hunter exams in the show, they wanted to create something that was so difficult that only 1% of the participants passed.
Okay.
Right? So 900 people, only 9 of them passed it. Like only 9 of them completed the exam. So in the show, right, the first part of the phase of the exam was to test their endurance, right? In the show, they show up and there's a proctor for each exam. So the proctor for the first exam was just like, I'm going to start running. Just follow me. Just keep up until I tell you it's over. So he turns around and he just runs, right? And these people are running 4 miles and they have no idea how far they have to go. They have no idea when it's over. They're just following this dude who has incredible endurance. Like, think of the greatest cross-country runner in the world, Olympic level. If he just came to you and was just like, follow me until I stop running, right? You have no idea how far he's going to go. So that's what this was. So,
do you know at the end how far you went?
In the show, no. But in real life, to mimic this, so similarly...
Oh, I thought you said that was the real life thing to do.
No. So
came up and...
that's what happened in the show. To mimic this in real life, so they gave people an idea of what each phase of the exam would be themed as, but not exactly what you had to do. So people knew that the first exam was endurance. So they knew they were going to have to run. But similar to the show, they didn't tell you how far it was going to be. They were just like, you're going to have to run a long distance. Just be prepared for up to 15 miles, right? So similarly, everybody showed up. They had a starting line, and they just told them to run. It turned out to be 8 miles. They ended up running 8 miles. But not only did they run 8 miles, but they specifically set out to eliminate 60% of the participants in the first exam, right?
Right.
So there was a point where once they hit 40 people who crossed that finish line, they just cut everybody else off.
Okay.
You could have been seconds behind that last person. You're done. You lost. Like, you're out. All right. So that was the first exam. The second exam was, I think they called it Assassin. Yeah, Assassin. So in the show, there is, they did this exam. The phase was basically like you were given a badge with a number on it, and then you were given a target, and you had to steal that target's badge. So like if I had 10 and you had 8, and they told you like you got to get number 10's badge, you just had to get mine. Your badge was worth 3 points. Mine was worth 3 points. So you had to get both, and you needed. And then any badge that you took that wasn't mine, wasn't your target's badge, was worth 1 point. I think that's how it went.
Okay.
So you could either take mine and get your 6 points to win, or you could go take 3 other people's and get your 6 points to win if you couldn't locate me or whatever. Again, I watched the show a while ago, so I don't remember all the details. But to replicate this in real life, they did not something quite as similar, but they did a free-for-all capture the flag.
Okay.
And at this point, they had like 400 contestants left. So they did 4 heats of like 100 people. They put them all in this big-ass field. They gave everybody flags, kind of like flag football. You put it around your waist. Similarly, you had to take... Your flag was worth 3 points. Anybody else's flag was worth 3 points.
As you described what the thing was, I was like, this sounds like it's going to be something to do with like flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think everyone after the first one you got was worth like 1 point. So like if I took your flag, I get 3 points for that. But then if I wanted to take 3 other people's flags, I could also do that. Because again, the name of the game is to eliminate people, right? So if I just was good out there and I just wanted to try to get more people out of the game, I could go take more flags if I wanted to. This one got crazy. One dude got his eye busted open, fucking. And the other thing about the Hunter exams, in the show, there's no age limit. There's no age range to when you can take it. So they did the same thing in real life. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are, you can sign up to take it. So they had kids, I think they said they had kids as young as like 10 out there trying to do this, right? There were people who ganged up on the kids. There were people who like formed alliances during this. So they just like circled up and like watched each other's backs and just tried to like jump other people for their flags, basically. This is the round where like all the women got eliminated because everybody just targeted the females. But yeah, it was crazy. So after this, again, they eliminated like a huge chunk of it, right? Round 3, they did, in the show, you had to form a team and then they put you in this maze and you had to find your way out of this maze. In real life, what they did was they gave you 2 options. You could either do an escape room with a random team, or you could do like a Ninja Warrior style like obstacle course. So you could test your mental strength or you could test your physical strength, right? So yeah, people split up. Some people went and did the escape room. Some people went and did the Ninja Warrior course. So that was cool.
Yeah.
And then there was 2 more exams after that. Right? Yeah. Then the one after that, they did a game. They called it Werewolf. Have you ever played this game?
I have.
Oh, really? Have
Yeah.
you referred to it as Werewolf?
I call it Mafia.
Yeah. So yeah, people said that too. So like Mafia, Werewolf, the newer generation would say it's just like Among Us, the little mobile game. Yeah, it's like similar to that. I feel like I know it as like Trouble in Terrorist Town. That's the way I've seen it played. But they did a game of that, and it was I think they named this round Deception or something like that.
I've heard it called that before too.
Yeah, where you that was the theme of the round, was deception. So again, it was like more of a mental game of like you got to test it. So they did that. And then the final exam was akin to the show. In the final exam, it was one-on-one tournament style fights because it's an anime, right? It's not an anime without a fight tournament. Obviously, they couldn't do that. Now, they did list on the website before it happened, that it was going to be one-on-one combat, right? So everybody was like, what is one-on-one combat, right? Because in the show, in the anime, some people die during this portion of the exam because there's no rules. You can kill your opponent if you want to, if you have to, if you need to. Obviously, they weren't going to let somebody get killed. Bummer. So this is the one I was most curious about. I'm like, how are they gonna do one-on-one combat? I'm thinking like fucking. You ever seen the old show? I can't remember what it's called. It was like American Warrior or something like that, where it was like normal people versus like these just super buff like men and women, and they always. You never saw that?
No.
Okay, you gotta. I have to show you some clips. But you know how they have the game where you're like on a beam above a foam pit, and then you each get like a foam thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like something like that. You know what I mean? Because I'm like that would make sense. Some combat kind of thing, right? So I thought it'd be something like that. So this last round it was actually a best 2 out of 3. So you got paired up with somebody. And again, at this point, there's 18 contestants left. They started out with 900. By this final round, there's 18 people left, and they still need to eliminate half of them. So you got paired up with somebody. The first game was one-on-one tug of war.
Okay.
The second game, they switched it up. They went to a mental game. It was like a game of like matching tiles. So you had to like match tiles to each other. And whoever had the highest score won. So again, this one was best 2 out of 3. So if you took the first 2, that's it. You won. You're a hunter now. But if you made it to that third and final one, it was a one-on-one game of dodgeball.
Okay.
Right? 9 people passed it. If you won in real life, they gave you an actual hunter, like replica hunter's license, which they got printed out. And from the pictures, they look like the titanium fucking credit cards that people get now. You know what I mean? Like it was like a credit card size, basically. It looked like it was metal. It had on there like official hunter's license. On the back, it said you were officially a part of this program. They also are going to set up some kind of dedicated chat or like server or Discord or something like that is exclusive only to hunters. So you can only access it if you're a hunter. And then you also will be a part of this new association that they're creating. So when they do like the next one, you can come back, you can be a proctor, you can, help out, like all those kind of things too. And then obviously like the more hunters they get, like the bigger this organization is going to grow. What do you think of all that?
That was a lot. Did they win money at the end?
No money.
Bro, what a waste of time.
You just won the bragging right. You were just a part of this elite group now. And they had people from all over the world. Like there were people there from
Is this something
from France
that you're interested in doing?
Yes. That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think this is something you would want to do?
No.
Why not?
Honestly, man, and I don't want to yuck your yum.
Yuck my yum.
Yuck your yum.
What an old man thing to say.
If there was like maybe this is if there was money involved, I think I would get it.
Okay.
I think because you're a big anime fan, it seems very exciting. Right? Okay. You watch this anime, right? If you made this a Marvel or DC like related thing, I'll probably have more excitement. But because I don't have that, I was like a bunch of nerds.
So, a couple things. 1, I did watch this anime. 2, I don't like it. I don't even like this anime, to be honest with you. Some people consider it to be the best anime of all time. I disagree with those people. I don't think that's great. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. Maybe if I rewatch it again, I might like it more. But I remember the first time I watched it, I didn't like it all that much. I thought it was extremely overhyped.
But you finished it.
But I did finish it because I wanted to see. It was one of those things where I'm like, I need to see what this is about. I need to see why people talk about it the way they do. Let me just see it through to the end. But it was a struggle. Like at one point I was like, I don't want to continue to watch this. But I finished it. So yes, I will say because I'm an anime fan, I do think that does contribute to it. But even if I wasn't, I still just think that this is a really cool concept, right? Because in my mind, I've thought about doing things like a Tough Mudder, like one of those kind of obstacle course run kind of things, right? Because I just think it's cool. Like I like the idea of challenging myself. I like the idea of like doing something that's not just like a marathon or a 5K or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just running. I'm actually doing things to like challenge my entire body, my upper strength, upper body strength, lower body strength, like all of that. And just it just seems like fun to like climb a wall and dive into a pit and fucking, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff. And then to challenge myself to be like, I can do this, right? training for
that.
it, like all that stuff. Like the idea of all that, that's exciting to me.
See, I feel like I'd rather just do the Tough Mudder.
See, okay, so here's my thing. The reason why I feel like I'd rather do this is for a couple reasons. One, because this is an actual competition, right? Like those Tough Mudders, you challenge yourself, and like, yeah, you could be like, that guy looks like he's gonna win, but I want to beat him. But from what I've heard, because I've never done one, but from what I've heard, when you do those kind of runs, you do a lot of just standing around.
Yeah,
because there's only so many people
yeah.
who can do the obstacle at one time. So you're just waiting. You do the obstacle, you get to the next one, and then you're just waiting. So it's not like an actual race. It's just, you're just challenging yourself to complete it, which is like, that's cool to have that self-motivation. But for me, the idea of like, this is a tournament, this is an actual competition, like that to me would be more fueling. It would drive me more to be like, I want to fucking win. You know what I mean? So that's one. Number two, finishing one of those races like a Tough Mudder, I don't get anything. What do I get at the end of that? Maybe a medal?
Yeah, I think you get a medal.
A participation medal? Okay, I mean, that's cool. And I guess maybe it's not that different from getting like the hunter license card, right?
Card.
But also, I can now say I'm a part of this elite community of people.
You can say you're part of the elite people that have completed the Tough Mudder.
I could say that.
It's the same meaning.
But there's way more of those people.
Yes.
This is like, let's say they host the next one, right? Let's say it's
What's the average age of the person? I know you said it could be all ages.
Oh, I don't know. If I had to guess based off of what I saw, I would say maybe 25 to 35. They had a couple of older people.
I think that's what you get. So you
like
said
40,
400
50
people made the 8 miles.
Yeah.
Because can I run 8 miles? I can run 8 miles. I know I can do that. Can I run 8 miles faster than a 25-year-old?
Why couldn't you?
I'm 33.
What does that mean?
Bro, do you remember what it felt like to be 25?
I do.
Yeah.
Doesn't
How do you
mean
feel now?
Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't get to a point where you feel just as good, if not better. There are a lot of people who will tell you that, like, you think that your prime is 25, but your prime is actually closer to like 30.
Right. I'm past 30 already?
You're 2 years, bro.
3?
Why 3 years?
3 years.
Why are you making it seem like
Best
you're on
case,
the
Nick.
on the
Best
losing
case
it? You're not
opportunity to do it.
39, bro. You're
I'd be
33.
Right. I'd be at least 34 or 35 before the next competition comes up.
It might be in September.
I'd be damn near 34.
You'll still be 33. What makes you okay? So see, that's my thing, right? Does it not encourage you to be like, man, I'm gonna go try to beat some of these 5-year-olds? God damn it, Thor, you're mighty.
It's not
bro,
that I
but you keep
can't
falling
beat
over.
some of the 25-year-olds, but statistically.
Also, but that's the thing too, right? Because when you looked at all the guys who passed, right? Because there were. The other thing I was gonna note to you is you were like, oh, it's just a bunch of nerds. Most of those dudes did not look like what you would expect an anime nerd to look like, right? Like, a lot of them were fucking like actual marathon runners, like actual bodybuilders. Like some of them were huge.
It's even
jacked.
more discouraging.
Like,
I'm not gonna beat a marathon runner.
But here's my thing though. When you look at the 9 guys who passed, all of them had very similar builds. None of them were overly muscular. None of them were incredibly skinny. They were like right in that middle, right? They were like, they had an athlete's body, right? Like a track runner or swimmer, like in that line, right? Because it wasn't just a test of just strength or just speed. Like it was a test of everything. Like they tested your speed, your strength, your agility. Like a lot of the big dudes who were able to run those 8 miles, when they got to like the Ninja Warrior style course, right? Because they chose that over the escape room because they're like brawn over brain. This is where I'm going to shine, right? They didn't make the time that they needed to make because they were just too big. Like their weight slowed them down. But the guys who were flying through that course were the ones who were smaller, more agile. So it's not just a matter of like, and also The people who went to the escape room didn't even have to worry about that. Like, there was one team that went in there, bro. They knocked that escape room out in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You're an escape room expert. How many escape rooms have you done?
I don't know how many. A lot.
A lot, right? So you think if you were in a room with a random group of like 7 guys, you don't think you can knock out an escape room?
I'm not worried about the escape room.
What are you worried about?
I think the whole thing overall.
Doesn't that fuel you though? That doesn't drive you? That doesn't make you be like,
I'd rather just do the Tough Mudder.
I'm gonna fucking do this. Maybe that's where we differ. Because the competitiveness in me is like, I want to be one of the 9 people that fucking... I mean, and it could be more next time. It could be less, right? But I want to be a part of the 1%. Because that's what they set out for. Their goal was to have a 1% pass rate. I want to be a part of that 1%. To say that I'm a 1% of anything, to me, is fucking dope. Like, I'm in the 1%. The 1%, bro? You telling me there was a day-long competition that started off with 900 people and ended with only 9 people passing, and I'm one of them? Bro,
I get that.
Like, that's incredible. And I think if they really put some work into it, I think it could be something really fucking cool. And then think of like being a part of a network of these people, right? Let's say they have like 4 of these. Let's just say each time only like 10 people pass. Now you got this group, this elite group of like 50 dudes who, like, you never know, man. Like, we have this exclusive communication with each other. Like, they might have all types of, like, you don't know what their network is like. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what kind of connections you can make. Like, I don't know. I think the whole concept is like just really dope.
Right.
So like, yeah, I don't know. I want to start training for the next one, to be honest with you. I was hoping that you'd do it with me so we could be in that bitch like we going to the end. But apparently Sean doesn't think it's cool enough. You'd just rather do the Tough Mudder.
I would rather do the Tough Mudder.
That's crazy to me.
I don't know, man. Like, maybe if I watch the videos, I get more excited about it. But you're describing it, and in my head, I was like, I have no desire to do any of this.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'll show you some of the videos. But I thought it was cool. So yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you about. I forgot to tell you about it, but like I said, it happened while you were away on your vacation. That probably took up a lot of time. Where we at?
47 minutes.
Shit. All right, let's get to some Daredevil then. No time for fancy transitions. We're just getting right into it. Yeah, man. Daredevil finished last week.
Born Again.
I think Daredevil Born Again finished last week.
Yep.
I gotta figure out this microphone. We talked about the first 2 episodes when they dropped.
Yes.
Now we're back to review the entire season.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's just jump right into
it.
Initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts. Okay.
Are we doing a spoiler-free thing or no?
Nah, with this, I think we could just go right into spoilers. Since it's a TV show, it's different from the movies where you gotta like actually take time to go see it. Like, this is available on streaming. Like, you can go watch this right now and come back and listen to this. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't think that's worth it. Maybe if we were still doing the first 2 episodes, but no, this full season's out. Go watch it. Overall, I don't think I liked it that much.
Oh, I'm on the opposite.
I don't think I liked it that, like, the whole time I was watching it, I just remember thinking to myself, I feel like I should be enjoying this more. And I almost felt like I was at a point where I was trying to convince myself to enjoy it more. And I just wasn't.
Man, you just do not like Marvel TV shows.
Maybe I don't. No, that's not true. Because I liked WandaVision. I liked The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I liked Moon Knight. I like She-Hulk. You know what I mean? Like, I like some Marvel TV shows. I like most of What If. I don't like all of What If. But even that's kind of an anthology show. Like, you can go pick up an episode. You can kind of pick and choose. Like, only like the last 2 episodes of every season is like, you got to see all the other ones before you watch it.
Yeah.
But before that, like, you can pick whatever episodes you want to watch and just watch it. You know what I mean? So I like some of What If. I don't like all of it, but I like some of What If. I'm trying to think what other. To be fair, I skipped a few of them, right? Like, I skipped Secret Wars. I skipped Echo. That's pretty much it.
Miss Marvel.
I've seen most of Miss Marvel. I still haven't finished it, but I remember liking what I saw. I liked Hawkeye for the most part.
I was gonna say Hawkeye. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, so I enjoy a good chunk of them, but some of them and this one, you know what it is, man? I remember the first season of the Netflix Daredevil, and that shit dropped at midnight, and I legit stayed up till like 6 a.m. watching those episodes. It was 8 episodes that dropped. I watched the first 6 in the night it released. I had to tell myself, Nick, the sun is out. Go to sleep. You know what I mean? Like, the sun is coming up. Turn this shit off. Go to bed. Because if I didn't, I would have watched the whole season right then and there. Like, that's how much I was in it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't gonna live up to that.
I just feel like I had a hard time with.
Interesting.
What were your? What are your?
I feel like. So much like what we discussed when we were talking about it before, I was like, these 2 episodes are going to come out and then I'm going to let it build up and then I'm going to watch it all at one kind of go. And I went and I turned it on, I want to say Saturday. And by like the end of Sunday, I had pretty much watched all of it.
Okay.
And I found it very easy to keep going to the next episode because I felt like it kind of like, to me, I was like, it turned up. Like it got good. It got entertaining. I don't know if I love the end. I actually think I'm a little disappointed by the ending of it.
Yeah.
But up until it, I was like, man, like, dude, the bank.
I like
St.
that
Patrick's
episode.
That episode's fucking great.
I like that. I do like that episode. But for me, that was a standout episode amongst forgettable episodes. Because other than the episodes I remember were the first episode 1, that one, and then like the last 2. I don't remember any of the other episodes. I don't remember what the fuck happened in any of the other episodes.
Well, I think it's because it was building up a big story. Like they were all building upon each other, except for the bank one. The bank one was like a standalone.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that step back. I like that just kind of fun. Let's just do something. Kind of take outside of everything that's going on. And
did you like the Irish joke?
Which one? What was the Irish?
The
joke?
one that the police officer tells the dude to get more time.
Oh, how did it go?
So I told Andrea the joke, and she found it funny because in the moment I was like, "This is not that funny," but I was like, I was wondering if it was all about the telling of it. So the joke goes. Let me see if I can remember. It goes. They're like naming areas in Ireland that don't really. It doesn't pertain to the joke. So that's just there was a priest going down the city of Cork, and he comes across a 4-leaf clover, and he picks it up, he rubs it, and a leprechaun jumps out. And the leprechaun goes, "Oh, I got some wishes for you. But before the wishes, can I ask you a question?" The priest goes, "Oh, of course. Does the convent down there, do you have any leprechaun nuns down at the convent?" And the priest looks at him, no, I don't think we have any leprechaun nuns. And he goes, "Oh, fuck. I slept with a penguin last night."
So stupid.
And I see you're laughing, no?
So stupid. I'm laughing. It's stupid. It's so stupid. So I remember it. Yeah, you know what, man? All right, let's dive a little deeper. Okay, so here's.
Did you pull the episodes up?
No, I didn't. I was just looking at kind of some of the notes I took as I watched each episode.
Oh, look at you taking notes in real time.
I didn't take that much. Like, I just jotted down stuff that I didn't like want to forget or stuff I just wanted to specifically address. But overall, I think my problem with the show was a couple things. One, I feel like the plot just wasn't as strong and as tight as the Netflix series. I'm not saying that the plot...
How long has it been since you watched the Netflix series?
It's been a little bit. And I'm not saying...
I think you need to rewatch it.
I'm not saying every season. I just remember season 1, right? That's the one I remember the most. Season 1. Because honestly, I don't remember that much of season 3. But season 1, and I'm trying to be realistic compared to season 1, because this is season 1, trying to compare it to that season 1. Because obviously this season 1, they were doing something similar in the sense of like, there's a lot they're clearly setting up for like next season. But I just feel like, I'm not saying the plot was bad. I just feel like it wasn't quite as tight. There was just some things that I just was like, they either didn't spend enough time on or spent too much time on.
Give me an example.
Or just like, also, I just don't feel like the characters were as strong. Like, it just, I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I feel like it had a good job of doing the parallel between Kingpin and Daredevil, Matt Murdock, whatever you want to call him, right? Where like they start off this conversation in the diner and they're doing the whole like, you know, I'm different now. Like,
I know about your past. You know about my past. But...
Like, and they have that kind of threatening, like, if you step out of line, I'm going to come for you.
Yeah.
You put that costume back on, I'm going to come for you. And you see how it slowly progresses to them both doing the shit. And they were kind of doing the shit the whole time, but you saw it like...
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally doing cutscenes from one to the other, and they're like basically doing the parallels to each other as it's like leaning towards this end. I enjoyed that a lot.
Okay, maybe I didn't see that. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. I don't know if that came through as strongly for me. Maybe I missed it. But that's kind of what I meant by like the plot didn't feel as tight. I remember them doing something similar in the Netflix show, and I just remember it feeling like much tighter woven. You know what I mean? Like you could clearly see where they were going to cross paths, how they were interjecting into each other's lives. And this to me just felt a bit more forced and a bit just like looser. It like, and so like the woman that Matt's dating, Heather Glenn, who's also Kingpin's therapist, to me, she was incredibly forgettable. Like, I promise you, and I'm not bullshitting you, bro, every time she came up on screen and she looked different from the previous scene she was in, I went, who is that?
Not all those white people look the same, Nick.
She's not, is she even white? What is she? I don't think she's white. It had nothing to do with that. She didn't look the same. Like, to me, I'm just like, who is that? Like, every time, I'm just like, wait, who is she again? And then they say Dr. Glenn. I'm like, oh, that's, oh, fuck. I don't, like, bro, she was so forgettable to me.
I don't know how you felt that way.
She was so forgettable. Like, because her role, like, I don't think her performance was the best. I think her relationship with Matt was just, like, not great. Like, it didn't feel genuine. It felt like a plot. Like, it felt like this is happening for the plot, and it didn't feel like a natural relationship. It didn't feel...
I didn't get that at all, man. I thought they did a good job of them, like, you know, they're going on their first date that they didn't know was a date. Neither of them really want to be doing it, and then they, like, realize that they have some chemistry, and then they kind of quickly, like, pick up. And then, like, the coolness of... Well, the coolness is a bad word, but, like, the part of... I'm a therapist, and... Matt sounds insane because he's so obsessed about the Kingpin. And so from her point of view, she doesn't know all the shit the Kingpin's been doing. Right. And so, like, as a therapist, she thinks something's like mentally going on with him. But he's over here, and if anything, he's underplaying the crazy shit that he does. But, like, he can't come out and say, I'm Daredevil to her. And it's the interesting part, too, of, like, she's, like, fascinated by vigilantes and masks until she gets, like, attacked by the Muse character. And now she's, like, super against him. Well, he's the vigilante of the series, right? Like, so I thought I thought that made her character interesting. Now, on the flip end, I think characters that are forgettable are, like, I couldn't even tell your name. The lady lawyer.
I feel like she was more memorable than Heather was.
Bro, she didn't do anything in this story.
But I agree.
She added nothing.
She's not that memorable.
She was basically there just to keep the practice going.
To me, the Kingpin's like little guy, he's like bringing up the one who's just like, oh, fucking
Daniel
burn. Is that his name?
That's his name.
He was fucking forgettable to me too. Every time he showed up, I'm like, where have you been? But why are you here? What's happening? Like, he was a forgettable character to me. And it's funny because I feel like the characters that were supposed to be more memorable were more forgettable to me. And then the characters who were supposed to be a bit more forgettable were more memorable for me. Because I really liked Hector, the White Tiger, his niece, I think she was.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed her character. And she had like 3 scenes.
Yeah, she didn't have a big...
But I really enjoyed when she showed up to like the funeral home to see her uncle, and she was talking to Matt about how like they don't care about us and they're the cops and like all this other stuff. Bro, phenomenal scene. She did a great job acting.
I agree.
In that scene. I was like, this is great. I really like her. So I liked her a lot. Let me see who else.
Did you like BB?
I liked BB. Yeah, she was cool.
I thought it was cool. It was the niece.
Yeah,
like the tie-in.
BB Urich. Yeah, that was cool. I even fucking liked his name was Leroy, the guy who stole the caramel corn from the gas station or whatever.
Yeah,
and Matt was like, I can't get you probation, bro. And then he goes on this whole like speech about how he's losing everything and like how like, you know, being in prison, like he like, even if it's for 30 days, like it really fucks up his life. And the reason why he's stealing is because he's starving, because he's been in jail. So he couldn't show up to like get to his hearing to get his food stamps and like that whole little speech he had. Cause I didn't like him at first. I was like, why are you being such a dick, bro? Then when Matt came back and he was like, I got you 10 days. And he broke down this whole speech. I was like, you know, that was fucking good. And I don't know, maybe for me, I enjoyed these characters more because I enjoyed their performances more. Even they didn't have that much screen time. I thought the screen time that they did have was really effective and they did a great job delivering the limited amount of lines that they had. And these other people like Heather, I just feel like I didn't believe anything she did, anything she said, like nothing. Even when she almost died with Muse, I'm just like, you know, and she has this whole scene afterwards where she's like, Matt, I killed him, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, you're not doing a great job.
I don't know, man. I didn't feel that way.
I just don't care. Like, I just don't care.
What'd you think of Muse?
I thought it was cool. I feel like they could have utilized him more. I feel like, and
because they showed that kid in the beginning.
Yeah,
and then because I waited so long to watch the other episodes. I like when they showed him again. I was like, I forgot
about him.
About this
I think
dude
that's
completely.
another one of. I think that's one of the plot lines that I think was like weaker, and this is what I meant by like they just didn't feel as tight as like strong.
But I don't think it was meant to be.
I know, but why put so much into it though? Like Muse was essentially a buildup for like the first, like what, 6 episodes or so, 7 episodes.
He's so subtle in the story.
He is, but then they have a whole episode basically about him.
Well, yeah, because they had to tie that shit up. But it wasn't really.
I just feel like it wasn't that strong of a plot line.
I don't feel like, but the story wasn't about him. The story was about both Kingpin and Matt going about how to take this vigilante villain serial killer down. Right? Okay. That's what it was. So it really didn't have anything to do with Muse. It had to do with taking this character down.
Okay, I guess if I look
at it like, different approaches of it.
Yeah, I guess if I look at it like that, then okay, because he is the worst of what they're both trying to go after, right?
Yeah.
Like he is a vigilante, but he's also a fucking serial killer.
Yep.
And it's kind of like, damn.
Bro, I actually fucking loved that line when he was talking to the police commissioner, Kingpin, and he's like, I think things are going bad. This is not the exact line. He's like, when the custodian, I think he was, figures out there's a serial killer before the police commissioner does. Yeah, and his face was like, fuck.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, true, man.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm looking at my notes real quick. Going back just one step, just to backtrack just a little bit. When I was talking about the Leroy guy, in prison, there was a line he said I thought was funny because I specifically noted it and said it was hilarious. And he was like, but it wasn't me. And he's like, then who was it? He was like, could have been a scroll. And Matt was like, I thought it
was funny.
Nope. I was like, that's funny as fuck. That's funny. Anyway, but back to Muse. Yeah, I didn't mind him as a character. I did think it was interesting to have like a serial killer vigilante as kind of like an antagonist for the show. I thought that was cool. I thought it was funny how they felt a need to, because like, let's be real. The 2 fights he had with Daredevil or Matt, he got fucked up both times, right?
Yeah.
Like he barely put up a fight. But he did put up a little bit of a fight. And I love how they felt the need to like break down like why he can put up a little bit of a fight against Daredevil. In my head,
I was like, knock this dude out already.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny. They're like, yeah, he he took taekwondo from like the best taekwondo.
Yeah.
His parents were super rich and they paid for like the best taekwondo instructor.
Like, let's explain this plot hole so
ever.
nobody questions
so
it.
Nobody questions it. But then they're like, oh, but after like 3 months, he killed his instructor. So I'm like, okay. So he learned a little bit from the best person in the world at this. But then he only did it for like 3 months.
Yeah,
So like it makes sense that he can throw a couple kicks, but it makes sense that like he does get fucked up by Daredevil. So I did enjoy that. Overall, I did really enjoy. I'm not even gonna necessarily say the action scenes. I'm gonna say I really enjoyed the violence, just the level that they put into it, because they were truly like. This is Disney, but no, this shit's R-rated. Like, we are not messing around with the violence in this show. You guys love that about the Netflix show. We're not stopping. In fact, this one's even more violent, I feel. Like, way more violent. Than the Netflix show. Like, just simply the fact that they have a serial killer in this moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not like a bullseye who's crazy and he'll just kill anybody. Like, this is a true serial killer.
Siphoning blood to paint
from
with.
people. Yeah. Like when he got the niece, I was like, oh shit, is she really finna die? Like, fuck. I really thought she wasn't gonna make it there for a second. But I did enjoy the violence. And then the Kingpin scene.
Oh, fucking hell.
I was like, jeez, man. Just fucking boom. I was like, golly. So that was intense. That's probably like, that's easily the most violent murder we've seen in a Marvel anything.
Yeah.
Like, jeez, they were not messing around. And blood splatter galore. Like, there were a few times Daredevil was just whipping his billy club, and as soon as he hit somebody, you just see blood. Just boom.
Every scene with the Punisher.
Every scene with the
Violence.
So much blood. Just killing people.
I will say, I actually really enjoyed the Punisher waiting in the apartment, being like, I got a phone call and I promise I'll get you out. That fight scene, I thought was pretty fucking cool.
Honestly, my favorite part of this entire season was the scenes with Punisher.
Yeah?
Like with Daredevil. I love their dynamic. I fucking love their dynamic.
He's always calling him Brad and everything.
It is great. John Berthal is fantastic in that role. He has great chemistry with Charlie Cox. Like, yeah, I love seeing them together. I love this dynamic. I love this, like, they're essentially the same character, except one of them is not willing to go as far as the other one, and the other one's just, because it's not quite like a Batman-Joker relationship, right? Like, it's a little similar, but Punisher is still after the bad guy.
Right.
And and that's what I enjoy so much about season 2 of the Netflix Daredevil, was their interaction of he's just like we do the same shit, bro. We're the same person. The difference
when I
is that
do it, they don't
get the fuck back up. You do it and they get back up. And I love that that's just the same. Like every time they interact, it's the same shit. They're just like, he's like, do it, Red. Just kill him. Like put him down. And I love he's like, Frank, no. And then he's like, oh, you're gonna jump in front of a bullet for this piece of shit too? What about this one? Pop! Yeah. And then just kills the other guy. I was like, this is crazy. But also, they're just humorous. I love Matt showed up and he's just like, I didn't expect, out of all the people, I didn't expect for you to be here. And I love how the Punisher is just at the point now where he doesn't question if he can see him or not. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't treat him as if he's blind. Like, because he's like, I know. Like, you might not see with your eyes, but whatever the fuck you got going on, you're just as skilled as I am. So we don't need to do this whole song and dance of like, and it's funny, at one point he calls him blind boy. He's like, blind boy. But he knows like that's not really an insult to him because it's like, he still fuck you up if you wanted to. But all the scenes where they're together, loved them, man. I thought it was great. When it was serious, when it was humorous, like, that was my favorite part of basically the entire series.
Do you feel like the police officer should have killed him?
Yes.
I was like, it's so ridiculous.
That was also one of my issues with the finale.
That nobody's killing him right now.
Exactly. He just murdered like
half of you guys.
Half of you.
Yeah.
And you just kept him alive? For what?
Right.
Because you kind of respect him. But
I was like, this is just, they can't kill him.
Yeah.
And they wanted a cool fight scene.
Literally, that's all it was. In terms of like the fight scenes, I I didn't love Kingpin in this season. I liked seeing Kingpin like as the Kingpin. This whole mayor thing, I know he's done it in the comics and stuff, but like I enjoyed his character most when he was beating people up. Or you know what I mean? Like
you don't like him doing the mayor scenes with
I didn't
the other.
like no. But like when he goes, he has that dude Adam fucking
In
his dungeon or whatever, and he goes and gives him an axe.
Yeah,
and he's like, when I was younger, I used to take on guys much bigger than me, and I learned then that a weapon, whatever, a tool
can change the tides
or whatever. So he throws an axe to him, and he's like, give me a reason, basically. You know what I mean? It's like, give me a reason to fuck you up. And he does. And he beats the shit out of him. Like, I remember, like, the first blow, he just dodges his axe and punches the dude in his side. And he goes flying like 20 feet. And I'm just like, this is the Kingpin I came here for. This is what I want to see.
But you didn't like the mayor dynamic as, like, he finds his way to get the shit done by like thinking like the Kingpin anyways?
Not really, because I didn't feel that way.
No?
I felt like the whole time.
I mean, even in the beginning where he's
back.
like, he's eating the Philly cheesesteak and he shows the fucking picture, I was like, oh, he's going to do shit. He's going to get shit done. He's going to get done the way that he wants to. And you see how he's uncomfortable and annoyed by doing the mayor things, but he's still thinking that. But he's sitting there and the children are singing.
Bro, those two scenes were so ridiculous. I'm like, what is the deal with this fucking song? Because they're singing it to him, and then he goes to the next thing, and they're singing "We Built This City" in another language. I'm just like, what's the deal with this song? What's happening right now? I mean, I do get that. For me, there wasn't enough of the other thing. I feel like those scenes where we see him getting Kingpin were way more scarce than the scenes of him trying to be a mayor. And to me, it just didn't work as well. Like, he had a lot of other people. That's crazy.
I enjoyed this so much more than you did.
Yeah, you did. Because I just, like I said, I wanted to enjoy it. I really did. And then at one point, like I said, I literally said to myself, why am I not enjoying this more? I feel like I should be. But something about it, I'm just not. I need you to
rewatch it. Take a nap first.
Maybe, man.
Go get a good dish to eat while watching it.
Trying to think. What did I write down here? We just talked about Kingpin. I really like seeing this fight. I wasn't loving the whole mayor thing. It just kind of felt boring.
I liked it. I liked the mayor thing.
There was some humorous...
Even the Daniel dude grew on me a little bit. Because I know eventually Kingpin's killing this dude. Because he's so dumb as what he's doing.
Yeah, okay.
And he's got the whole loyalty thing going. But even Kingpin, like, remember he had his like hand on him? Yeah. And he's like,
if you do this again,
this motherfucker. He's like, he's so loyal. But I was going to fuck him up just 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. No, I get that. I like the scene where Matt went to Josie's and he's drinking with her, and Cherry shows up and he, puts the pieces together about Foggy, and then he gets up and he leaves and he just like kind of runs out, and she's like,
didn't use the cane.
He didn't use the cane. He was like, yeah, I didn't see that. He was like, I didn't notice. And I just thought that was so funny because he's like, shit, I don't got time for this. Like, really? I didn't notice. Whatever. Let's just move on. I don't like the relationship. Like the violence, like the R-ratedness. Yeah, and also, I just feel like there wasn't enough action. I just wanted more action. I feel like they have this new like Disney Marvel clearly budget, and they just didn't utilize it. And I'm just like, let me see more Daredevil shit. Like, I want to see him doing more stuff.
Well, I think the whole Born Again thing was like you had to like spend a little time with him not being Daredevil to see him come back.
I know. And
I will say that's my one only gripe with the bank episode is I was kind of like, man, is he about to take every one of these dudes down?
And he doesn't.
He doesn't. He beats up like 2 guys.
And while the episode was still fun, I did still really enjoy that episode. It would have been nice if there was a little more action.
Yeah.
And I think overall, period, for the entire season, I would have enjoyed some more action, because the action that they did do, I did really enjoy it. Like I said, I like that they just didn't hold back. They did the R-ratedness. You see Matt with his billy club. He's fucking shooting the hook through people's shoulders, yanking them. You know what I mean? They added some of the CGI, which wasn't always great, but they did add it. I just felt like they could have did more, and it just wasn't quite enough action for me. But let's talk about the last episode, the finale. What a fucking tease that episode was. Like, bro, what?
I didn't like in my head, I was like, are they planning to do multiple seasons? Like, I didn't know that it was like, because the way they leave it, like they have to continue the story.
There's not like,
right?
there's gotta be a season 2.
Annoyingly open.
It is. And just for them, because you have the scene where Punisher, I guess, just has this change of heart, and he's just like, all right, fuck it, I guess I'm gonna go beat up these cops at the place because I know where they are, right?
Yeah.
One, they left too many things just like unaddressed, and it was just like, why didn't you just like go full force on this? Like the whole Punisher thing. Like this whole season, we see all these crooked cops wear the Punisher logo because they think that that's what he stands for. They're getting tattoos. It's the symbol of the Fisk, like no rules, no limit task force.
Yeah.
They're all wearing the skulls. And then they finally get him. And all he says is, you're just a bunch of fucking clowns. Like what was the word they used? Not respect.
Idolize,
something along those lines, right? Like he's like, you idolize me? Like, you guys are fucking clowns. Why didn't we just straight up address, like, this is not what the fuck I stand for?
Yeah.
As the punt, right? Like, if you're gonna do the symbolism,
I feel like it's
actually
left.
Just say it.
I feel like we're gonna get a Punisher show where that's really addressed.
I would hope so. Because, and then also, again, I feel the same way you did. I get why they didn't do it. But realistically, they should have killed him. Like, they all took turns punching him in the face. They should have just killed him.
Right.
Because, like, we knew he was going to fucking
they're killing all these other people.
Yeah, and now he's out of there. But also, why are they locking up so many? Why is Fisk locking up all these vigilantes in these weird dog kennels where they can't stand up straight? Like...
Yeah, that was a weird
right?
scene.
Like, why
are they all? I know the one dude was a vigilante. I thought he was just locking up
or something like that.
The rich.
No, I think it's all the like vigilantes.
I did not pick up on that. I thought it was all the people that were like not willing to pay him.
I think it's both. I think it's both.
Because that one, the swordsman, he's rich and a vigilante. So
yeah. And I mean, we knew Punisher was gonna get out of there, right?
Yeah.
There was after credit scene, breaks the dude's arm. Gets out of there. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. But yeah, I wish they would have just like went full force and just addressed it.
Martial law and everybody's got a curfew at 8 and then it's just Daredevil and Josie's with like 5 people being
so
I was like, this is a ridiculous way to end this season.
Right? Also, so we get this fucking super tease where he shows up and Karen's like, it's just crawling with task forces, all these people, blah, 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 blah. First of all, I'm sure Matt has somehow detected with this fucking sonar or whatever how many people are down there, right? Like, he knows. Yes, he has a bullet in his shoulder. We know. This is what he does. Like, and at minimum, if he wasn't going to go down there full force and fight everybody, the least we could have saw him pick off maybe a few of them, have some kind of goal. Maybe he's there to free the Punisher and get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? Like something. But he just went... Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. What do we need? We need an army. All right,
I honestly thought that was going to lead to like Foggy had figured out the case. And I was like, oh, it's going to go back to being a lawyer show. And that's how he's going to take down Kingpin, is having this case. But like, yeah, I wanted to address, because we didn't address Karen coming back. I got to tell you, man, I didn't need it.
I get that.
We could have skipped it completely.
I agree.
I was actually annoyed when he was in the hospital and he woke up and went, Karen, fucking Christ, dude. Leave her in the old show.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
As soon as they said that, because remember I was predicting that we weren't going to see her again, but as soon as he said her name, I was like, she's showing up in this episode.
Yeah. No, I feel that way. I agree. We didn't need her. I mean, because Foggy's gone. So, like, just clearly it's a wrap. You know what I mean? Like, let's just move on. Also, we didn't get any more Foggy, bro. Because I think when we talked about the first 2 episodes, we kind of predicted maybe we see him in flashbacks and nothing. Nothing. That was crazy.
They show that he like clearly hurting about it, but they don't. Yeah, you get no scenes. That actor
Yeah.
got no additional scenes.
No, that's it, bro. So that was crazy. But yeah, what a fucking tease that was. And then yeah, we see the scene, and I guess that's his army.
Yeah,
I don't fucking
was like, what is it?
What is this?
How insane would it be if he says he needs his army and he goes and gets the rest of the defenders? That would have been a cool ending.
So here's the other thing. How the fuck can there be a statewide blackout in New York City? Wilson Fisk as mayor calls martial law, and you telling me not a single fucking other hero is doing anything? Half of the Avengers are in New York.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is there. Fucking Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist.
I think you're supposed to somewhat assume that they are.
Miss
but they're not
Marvel.
going against.
Miss Marvel's dad was in the show.
Yeah,
So clearly
yeah.
Miss Marvel, or she's across the pike in Jersey, but she'd see the blackout from where she lives. What are we doing? Where is everybody? You telling me not nobody went?
I think they're stopping looters and shit.
I mean, I hope we get some kind of something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe in season 2 we get a scene of some of the other heroes cleaning some stuff up. It doesn't have to be like full force Tom Holland shows up. You know what I mean? But maybe we get
Throw Luke Cage in
a
there.
little news snippet of we see Spider-Man swinging by. We see Luke Cage show. Why wasn't he there? He should be there.
Yeah.
Right? Like all of these. Kate Bishop is in New York. You know what I mean? Like all of. You don't even need to go big Avengers. You can go smaller ones.
Right.
You can go street level. So yeah, that's just what are we doing?
Yeah.
Because it's too big now. You know what I mean? Like that's too big of an event to happen within the MCU that nobody else in the MCU does anything about it.
I get that.
You know what I mean? And if it's like if we're fully in the MCU now, which we are, let's fucking see it, you know? Like, let's.
I mean, honestly, I think if
see
they
it
did
happen.
any of the other Netflix ones or like
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk could have showed up.
Yeah. I mean, Daredevil's been in all these other people's shows. They could have thrown Echo in there. Like, they could have done any of these other characters.
You know?
Yeah.
Craziness.
All right, what do you rate it out of
Billy Clubs.
Billy Clubs.
3.
I'm going 4.
Okay. 2.8, actually.
I'll stay with 4.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's quite. I don't feel like it's a 2.5 because I want to go like half, but I don't feel like it's quite that. It's a little bit above that. So I say like a 2.8. I don't feel like I want to give it a full 3.
Right?
Like a 2.8 out of 5. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just
Maybe I went into it with lower expectations. You went in with higher.
maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's do a quick little close call, man. We're gonna do. We've done a few of these before. We usually do them at the top of the episode, but we were too busy into other stuff, so we're gonna do it here at the bottom. Close call of the episode. This is the first. No, so one of the things I think that made the Netflix Daredevil series so special was some of the great fight choreography that happened. Right. So we're doing top 3 MCU TV fight scenes. So top 3 MCU TV fight scenes. My top 3 versus your top 3. Let's get to it.
Building up to the best.
Building up to the best. So yeah, like we've been doing.
Yep.
Honorable mention. You want me to go first? You want to go first?
You go first.
All right. My honorable mention. I got Kate Bishop versus Yelena in Hawkeye.
That's a good one.
It's not like a real fight. It's more of like a scuffle.
Yeah.
Like a push around. But I like it. Not necessarily because it's a great fight, but because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
It's a fun scene.
funny. You know what I mean? It's just Kate clearly out of her fucking league fighting Yelena. And Yelena's like, you know, cutting her some slack. But she's like, get out of my face. And then we have the whole scene in the elevator where she pushes a bunch of buttons.
Ah, so annoying.
Yeah. And it's just like, what are you doing? So that's really fun. I wanted to go with a fun one. And I think that scene is what helped us to also like fall more in love with Yelena as a character, along with like her and Black Widow. So,
all right,
that's my honorable.
I like it. My honorable mentions actually be what we just talked about as Daredevil and Punisher in this last episode, where they're fighting everybody in Mets.
Like fighting all the
police
officers.
And
Did you like the slow mo?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked everything about that scene.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, Punisher was in there, man, carving throats out. It's crazy.
Yep.
Like, jeez. All right. Number 3, I got the Defenders Assemble fight scene.
Okay.
From the Defenders.
All right.
It's not the greatest show, but I did really enjoy that scene of them coming together, seeing like their fight styles kind of mix. I love the whole Luke Cage, Iron Fist dynamic. You know what I mean? And just the clip that we see from like all the trailers and shit where they're in the hallway. They have their own hallway fight scene and they're all just kind of going at it. You see Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. They're brawlers. You see the 2 martial artists and Iron Fist and Daredevil. So, yeah, I really enjoyed that one. That was fun.
It's a good one.
Yeah, fun stuff.
The Dora Milaje versus Falcon, Winter Soldier, U.S. Agent, and Battlestar. I had to look up that last dude's name.
That was good. Yeah.
Man,
I almost put that one on the list too, actually.
The whole, the fact that the Dora Milaje just, wiped the floor with him, but the whole, fuck, I guess we gotta help them. And then, his fucking Winter Soldier's arm falls off.
Oh, I forgot she did that. Yeah, she just, deactivated his shit.
That was a great scene.
And he's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I know.
And even the aftermath of that scene, I love how John Walker afterwards was like, fuck, they didn't even have super soldiers, bro. They just fucked us up. Because at one point, one of them spears his shield off his arm, and he can't even pull it out the ground.
Yeah.
So, and then she just comes by and yanks it, and he's like, what the hell is going on? No, I agree. That's a good fight scene, man. I almost put that one on the list, too. I couldn't remember it well enough if it was a really good fight scene, but I do really enjoy that one as well. And it's just cool seeing the Dora Milaje just do badass stuff.
It is. It is.
All right. Number 2, also from the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I got the opening aerial fight scene.
Okay.
So when Falcon is just in the sky, he's flying into planes, fighting people. They jump out. They're free diving. They get into helicopters. He's flying into helicopters and fight. It's incredible. It really is. It felt so different from WandaVision in the sense of this felt like a full cinematic scene.
Yeah.
I remember watching it and thinking to myself, am I watching the show or is this another movie? Because it felt like another movie. The CGI was great. The effects were on point. And just seeing, I think that's the most interesting thing about Falcon is just seeing how he utilizes his flight and his wings integrated into his fight style.
Yeah.
And this was a really good representation of that because that's what I really enjoyed about him in Civil War, just seeing that elevation of him doing new stuff. And this just helped to kick that up even further. You know what I mean? Using the wings as shields against gunfire. At one point, he's fighting in the air while he's flying. He's using Red Wing and shit. It was just cool. It's a cool fight scene.
All right.
Yeah.
My number 2, taking it. The Daredevil hallway scene, season 1.
Yeah.
Man, it started all the hallway fight scenes.
It did.
It was, man, it's a crazy fight. It's
flawless, honestly. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic fight scene. I know that they've done even heightened versions of it, but for me, that was
the one that started off.
That's the one that started. It still stands the test of time. It's fantastic. I agree.
Yeah.
My number 1, Daredevil hallway fight scene season 1. That's my number 1 for what I just said. It just I can rewatch that fight scene so many times. I can watch it by itself and I can watch it within the entire episode. And when you just watching it by itself, it's already fantastic. When you watch it in the context of the entire episode, dude, it elevates it so much more. When you know what he's gone through, how he got to that point, why he's even there doing that fight in the condition that he's in, just to save a child. Bro, it hits so hard on so many fucking levels. And like you said, it kicked off this whole hallway fight scene thing, and it's fantastic.
All right.
All right, what's your number one?
My number one is also a Daredevil fight scene.
All right,
it takes
which one?
place in season 3 when he's in the prison
And he has to
and he's
escape?
got to fight his way out of it.
Yeah, and it's like
It
an
is a
11-minute long fight scene.
fantastic
Yeah.
scene, man. I watched it again not that long ago, and I was like, this is an insane thing. Like the fact that he's like crazy outnumbered, and he's like listening for people to come in, and he convinces the guys to help him out, and they put the fucking bodysuit on of like the other police officers, and he's like, nope, not this way, nope, not that way, nope, you got the keys in your pocket, use these keys to get you out, and then he's knocking people out, and then like, all right, let's keep going. It's a fantastic scene.
I gotta go back and rewatch that one.
Yeah,
I remember being great, and yeah, it's crazy that it's so long, but also at the same time, it's like, I mean, it makes sense. Like that's probably how long it would take you to get out. Like you'd be fighting for like 15 minutes straight, like just scrapping. Nah, so that's fun. All right, cool, man. That's good stuff.
That's our list.
Yep, that's our list. I think that's the show.
It's the show.
All right, guys. Thanks for Billy clubbing along with us this time. We appreciate it, and we hope to see you guys next week. Bye.